What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and there is something weird afoot. Now, before I get into this video, no, it's not a sponsor. I just want to remind you that I have a second channel. It's called Midwestly. Oftentimes, I'll put, like, spicier topics there, but many times, because I limit this channel to 3 uploads a day, there's video game news, legit video game news over there. Like, I just uploaded a video about how broken WWE 2K20 is, and I also did a video on Borderlands 2 VR being a broken mess. So I'm going to leave a link in the pinned comment in the description. Make sure you go over there. If you really want to get all the news for each day, you subscribe and then you turn on notifications as well. So Disney is up to some shenanigans, allegedly, suspiciously. Now, if you remember, when Captain Marvel was out, there was a lot of questions about Disney buying seats. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if companies did this, buying out theaters, large swaths of seats, so that they could report higher ticket numbers for the opening weekend. It's an investment. It's like shilling up your own bids. If the movie is going to make, I don't know, $300 million, but you have a $500 million marketing budget, why not buy the headlines that tickets are sold out? It's the most pre-sale tickets we've ever seen. I mean, why not, right? It genuinely creates these headlines. Here's a perfect example. Solo, a Star Wars story. Fandango pre-sales double Black Panther's haul. Now, if you remember, Black Panther was probably, I think, the first movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to make $1 billion. That's with a B. Now, the movie was mediocre, in my opinion, like most modern-day Marvel films, but that movie dominated, all right? So you look at these opening weekend sales for Star Wars. Now, Star Wars fans certainly are some of the most ravenous people out there. So, I mean, I have friends that are Star Wars fans that, like, ritually, order their tickets the minute they're for sale. They want to go opening night. That's cool. I mean, it's cool that you're into it. But my interest is Disney buying these? Because we saw Solo, a Star Wars story, doubling Black Panther ticket sales and ending up the very first Disney film in the Star Wars empire to lose money. It lost. Imagine that. Who would have ever thought we'd be in a world where a Star Wars movie would lose money? And not just a little, 50 million plus. So it's probably closer to 100 million. Lucasfilm's standalone Han Solo origin pick is faltering at the global box office, where it's expected to top out at the $400 million range. Solo, directed by Ron Howard, isn't likely to gross more than $400 million globally against a budget of at least $250 million and a major multi-million dollar marketing budget. The movie lost major altitude in its second weekend of play to finish Sunday with a domestic total of $149 million and a global sum of $264 million. Until now, Disney and Lucasfilm appeared unstoppable. Force Awakens benefiting mightily from pent-up demand, earning $2 billion globally to rank as the number 3 title of all time, not adjusted for inflation. The standalone title Rogue One, a Star Wars story, flew to $1.05 billion, while Star Wars Last Jedi grossed $1.3 billion. Since expectations for any film in the Star Wars franchise are sizable, no one expected Solo to fly so low. Well, if you were watching it from afar, you did. You expected it. But even I was surprised that the film ended up losing money. But here we go again. Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker smashes pre-sale records. In its first 24 hours, the December tentpole has exceeded all other titles in the storied series. J.J. Abrams' Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker is already breaking records 2 months ahead of its scheduled release in theaters. In the first 24 hours, the Lucasfilm Disney tentpole has racked up more advanced ticket sales than any previous title in the storied series, according to online service Atom Tickets. Tickets went on sale late Monday, tied to the release of the trailer, which aired during Monday Night Football. The cast includes Daisy Ridley, the forehead, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Lupita Nyong'o. I don't know. Anyway, so Rise of the Skywalker is 155 minutes, edging out Star Wars: The Last Jedi 152 minutes to make it the longest film. Again, who knows? Again, you also have this endgame type push. To me, there's no question in my mind that Rise of the Skywalker makes $1 billion. You have the whole Avengers Endgame effect where, in my opinion, Avengers Endgame wasn't even a top 5 Marvel movie. It was okay. But so many people who had seen even 1 or 2 of the over a dozen Marvel films or whatever felt like they needed to go see the thing come to a close, which is why the ticket sales were so high. Same thing with Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. I have very little interest in seeing it in the cinema, but I'll probably watch it at some point, some way. And you have other interesting things. Disney confirmed to have manipulated Captain Marvel perception. As it's suspected for weeks, is now confirmed that Disney and other companies have intentionally manipulated the online perception surrounding the movie. Duh. A report by US Today confirms 2 Disney studio executives said that they've become more adept and prepared for combating organized negativity around a release. The report mentions that the videos posted to YouTube that weren't favorable about Captain Marvel or its star Brie Larson were pushed down. It's further mentioned that Rotten Tomatoes removed its Want to See score from the site, but the article stopped short of blaming Captain Marvel, of course. Rotten Tomatoes also restarted its audience score following the flick's release, which appears to be in order to inflate the positive numbers. I say all of these things because we've seen similar behavior before. If we go back to the Captain Marvel era, there were many tweets. This by Just Peel saying, "The Captain Marvel report from my local theater is shocking. Out of 22 showings, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, there were 570 empty seats from advanced ticket buyers who never showed up. While on Sunday, there were only 4 no-shows for the movie all day." Now, I don't know how you could really count that. When I go to the theater, I don't really see anybody counting if my butt's in the seat, and they just rip it. My ticket at the door. I suppose they could tell if you pre-order the ticket and then you didn't then print it on the machine. I don't know if every cinema's like this, but mine, it has, I buy the tickets through the Fandango app because I want to leave a review on the movie. And then I go and I scan my phone and it's got like butter and grease all over the scanner. So it takes forever to scan. Then I get my tickets and they rip it. So I suppose they could look at people that actually picked up their tickets. He goes on to say, the manager claimed he'd never seen anything like this in 20 years. Hundreds and hundreds of tickets were purchased online, but the buyers never arrived to watch the film. As far as I know, the box office totals for Captain Marvel, or as far as I'm concerned, I imagine, are fake, with Disney or partner padding the numbers. I went Thursday. The theater was a little over half full. Here's my local theater. Friday night before the 10:20 Captain Marvel. Empty. Total picture completely empty. So is it possible? Is it possible that a multi-billion-dollar corporation like Disney would do this? Of course it is. It would probably even be considered good marketing. Imagine having $500 million to budget in your budget to market Star Wars. I'm not kidding. That's how big their budget is. So you're buying ads during Monday Night Football. You're paying YouTubers to shill for you. You're buying toys. You're doing giveaways. You're doing all this stuff. You're doing billboards. Why wouldn't purchasing tickets at your local theater be part of that plan? And if we look at what was accumulated by Data Racer, who's always a good follow for pop culture stuff, Data Racer 117, Rise of the Skywalker ticket pre-sales hype could be fake. The Cinemark 14 has the same 94 seats pre-sold for every showtime from December 19th to December 26th. 7,000 tickets unavailable. It's not part of their movie pass. Disney pulling scams again. Now let's look at this. Is there some plausible reasoning for this? Of course there is. Is there a glitch? Something wrong in the system? It's possible. is this some sort of thing where the theater buys these tickets and is going to do some sort of promotion where they give them away? Some local radio station bought up all the tickets? Sure. It seems unlikely, though, that they'd be the exact same seats in the exact same showing. You can see Rise of Skywalker shatters Avengers Endgame first hour tickets hit pre-sale record. Rise of Skywalker has outsold all other Star Wars titles. This is potentially, okay, at least plausibly, why you do this. This is why you buy those seats. It's to get these headlines, to get more people to say, holy crap, you have essentially the best example of what an age-old marketing tactic is, fear of missing out, or you may hear it called FOMO. That's what this is. It's manufactured fear of missing out. Now, when you look at these, December 20th, you have every seat in the main area except the 2 outer rows and then the far right row gone. This is at 10:30 a.m. 7:20 p.m., exact same. 10:10, exact same. 10:30, exact same. Actually, if you look at this one, it's a little different layout of the theater, Auditorium 4. See how it's got the 2 rows here to the left? They're buying out basically everything but the edges. They're even buying out handicap seats. I can't tell if that's what that is. You know, is this like a company picnic? I don't know, but you have 3:20 p.m., 11:40, 9:30, 10:30. Every single showing has the exact same tickets missing. Here's another, like, Rise of the Skywalker on the 26th. Completely sold out, 10:35 p.m. on December 26th. Is it possible? Of course it is. Now, there are many reasons why this might happen. You look at this one, too. Just huge chunks in the middle. Nobody's buying these seats on the edge, which, to me, if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, you're buying these edge seats. Because you're not going to say, well, I'm going to hold off for tomorrow to get a little bit better seat. You're buying this single H9 seat here. Or you're buying anything in the 10th row or the 2nd row. Or you're buying, I mean, first of all, here's another weird thing. The front row is always the last to sell. You would expect, given normal human behavior, that seats C4 and C3 would absolutely have sold before anything in these front rows. In fact, probably C12, C13, C4, C3, and all the 10 row and all the 2 row would have probably sold before rows 1 and 2. So this is not a normal ticket distribution, in my opinion. This looks suspect. You would not have sold out the entire first row before you sold out these other rows. So is Disney buying tickets to get those headlines going for the opening week? It's possible. What do you think? I'm curious to hear what you say in the comment section down below. You know it's going to be an exciting run-up to the Rise of the Skywalker, and when the reviews start coming out, once we learn more about old lightning hands, it's going to be a fun ride. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.